you want to know how to make easy pizza during isolation, this is the recipe for you. Oh, start making videos, babe.
Oh, there we go.
Hello and welcome back to Uncle Simon's Self-Isolation Inspiration. What are we making today? Quite simple. We're making an easy pizza. You don't get it my size, but we're living off of salads. Now let's start with the dough. The ingredients you're going to need for this are 500 grams of strong white bread flour, 6 grams of salt, 350 millilitres of tepid water. How do you make it? 1 part boiling, 2 parts cold. And also a little packet of yeast. This is the instant stuff. If you can't get hold of this, go to your butcher's and ask for the blocky stuff.
The live yeast.
The blocky stuff.
The live yeast.
That comes in a block. So let's get started. First of all, you want to get just a pinch of sugar and pop it in to your tepid water bowl. This will feed the yeast. Make sure the sugar's dissolved in the water. Now, with your salt, one side of the bowl. Now, with your instant yeast, pop it on the other side of the bowl. Salt, yeast, perfect. Next thing you want to do is get your tepid, sugary water and pop it straight in. Just like that. Now get your whisking hand on and go straight in and get it all whisked up to make a nice ball. Ooh, lush. Now this gloop is what you want to do. You want to make sure that all the flour is out of the bowl and in to this big old gloopy mess right in front of me. Right, now your dough is formed into rough ball-like shape. Pull it out. Make sure your bowl's not got any flour left in it. This is the part where you want to start punching it, stretching it, give your arms a good workout. Make sure that you tear it, do whatever you want to it. So for me, I like to think about my wife making me do all the cleaning up and all the chores. It just makes me just so angry. Do that for 10 minutes until the dough is nice and soft. Right, the 10 minutes is up and my dough is now super soft. And that is what you're looking for. Now we've got to let it prove. So let's just get the dough into a nice ball. Don't have to be exact. Get your bowl. Pop a little bit of oil in the bottom just to stop it sticking. Make sure you get right up the sides because this dough will rise. And get your dough straight in. Right, next, get some cling film and just pop it over the top. Just stop the air getting to it because it will create a real crust on the dough. It's horrible. Right, now the cling film's on it. We need to put this in a warm room for about an hour or until doubled in size. Bush.
Meanwhile,
What are you doing?
He didn't dumb me in. I'm so unhealthy. I need to go and lay down, I reckon.
I don't... What are you doing?
Relaxing.
What do you mean relaxing? I've got pizza to make.
Oh, just order Domino's, they're never nursing ours. Right, now Becky's made me get out for my relaxation, if that's what you want to call it. It's time to make the sauce whilst that's proving. Now, you can go out and buy an instant sauce. This is my personal favourite. It's the Pizza Express Passata. But for the viewers at home, I'm going to make my own sauce. Right, now on to the sauce. Ingredients. During isolation, you should have this in your store cupboard. These are plum tomatoes. They're better quality tomatoes than what you get in the passatas, so I always go for these. Next, we have got 1 tablespoon of oregano, or us Brits call call it oregano, because we're sensible. Next, we have got garlic puree. You can use normal garlics, just make sure you mash it up. You're probably going to want about 3 cloves. So, a bit of oil. Let's crack on. A little bit hot. Put some oil in, not a lot, because you know, trying to be healthy. Next, you want to go in with your garlic. Get that spitting absolutely everywhere. Just for about 20 seconds, not too long. Turn the heat down. Next, go in with your oregano. Give that a mix in with the garlic. It just starts to bring the flavour out. Make sure you stir it because you don't want it to burn. Then finally, go in with your tin of tomatoes. Now we've put the tomatoes in, the plum tomatoes are a bit whole, so get your smasher and just smash them up a bit. At the end of the day, we want a smooth sauce, not lumpy. Now that's all smashed, we need to go in with some flavourings. It will be a bit sharp, so just take a little pinch of sugar and just pop the sugar in. Next, season to taste. Just a little bit, not too much. If you go too mad on the salt, you'll ruin it and you'll never get it back. Just give that a little stir and have a little taste. That is banging. Right, now we've got that flavour exactly where we want it, it's time to reduce it down. What do we mean by reducing it? It means getting rid of some of the liquid. We don't want a soggy pizza. So get your temperature to really low, pop it on, and reduce it down so it's a bit thicker. Right, my little bonnet douches, come and have a look at this. This has been reducing now for 15 minutes. As you can see, all the liquid's gone and it's just more of a thicker, nicer sauce. This is the consistency you're looking for. I like to have a nice little taste because I'm a chef. Oh, and just like the mama who used to make. Right, just as a little side note, I thought I'd explain why you separate the salt from the yeast in the bowl. Basically, if you put salt on top of yeast, it will stop working, it will kill it. That's why you do it separately, but it doesn't matter. Once you put the water in, starts activating the yeast, gets it all together. Now, what's the difference between the yeasts, the blocky stuff, and the instant? Instant is far better, in my opinion. It's easier, it's easy to get hold of when you're not in isolation. But if you are struggling to get hold of that, go down to your bakery or your butcher's or whatever and see if you can get some of this stuff. This is the blocky yeast. Basically, what you need to do is, this is 7 grams, you need to use double that for live yeast. So this will be 14 grams. The way you prepare it, 14 grams in a bowl, put some water on it, a little bit of sugar, just to liven it. After 10 minutes, you should see in the bowl that your water is all foamy and bubbly. But then you need to take away the water from the recipe mixture. So you say you put 20 ml into your bowl with your yeast, then you do 330 ml of water. Bosh, one take. Right, this has been proven for an hour now. As you can see, it's doubled in size. If you tear it apart, you can see all the strands of the gluten. That is what the yeast does. Now, give it a little slap and pull it out of the bowl. Right, the dough is out of the bowl. This is far too much for one pizza. This will probably make 3. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it up, one for me, one for Becky, and the other one I'm going to freeze. They freeze really well. Pop it in a freezer bag, and it will keep in there for quite a while, to be honest with you. When you want it, take it in the morning, and it'll be defrosted. Boom, instant dough. Right, now I make pizzas quite regularly, and I found the 2 items that help me out. One is a dough cutter, and the other one is this thing. No, it's not for massage. This is called a docker, and it makes little holes in your pizza, stop it puffing up. But if you ain't got them, you can get yourself a sharp knife or a fork. But if you do want to have a look at these, I'll leave the link to them down below. Bosh! Bosh! 3 pizzas. Time to roll the dough. What you need, get a little bit of the strong white bread flour and bosh it down. Get it in your hand, just throw it everywhere, it doesn't really matter. Get your dough straight on with a little slap. Next, get your rolling pin. Get it floured and get it rolling out until it's a circular shape. You want it about as thin as a boned coin.
We do.
I don't know. I've seen people at Domino's do it. Looks good, looks professional. When you're rolling your dough out, it does take a little bit of work because as you're rolling it, it seems to shrink back. That's just the gluten and the elasticity working, but just work through it. When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's amore. Once the dough's rolled out into a circle with the correct thickness, now's the time you just go over it with your fork just to stop the dough rising when you put it in the pan. So just go along and dab it. But if you got one of these, all you got to do is just go straight over it. Easy as that. Now this is the most important part of the pizza, and it's also what makes it the most fattening part, the cheese. This is 120 grams of cheddar for both pizzas. You can use any cheese you want, doesn't really matter. What does matter is putting this on, mozzarella. Now I know a little secret with mozzarella. Basically, if you tear it and you can take strands like that off, it makes it extra stringy when you've put it on your pizza. It's time to make pizza. Now some people have got fancy stones, but they're a pain to clean and you need to preheat them. Some people have got wood burning stoves in their garden with nice hickory logs to cook it in. Me, I've got a pan with a little bit of oil in. Pan's on, heating up. Sauce is here, cheese is here, mozzarella's here. We're ready to go. Here we go. We've got the dough. The pan is not sizzling, but it's warm. Get the dough in. Get it stretched out. It doesn't matter if it folds over. It just means it's going to be a bit thicker crust. Right, I'm cooking this pizza in the frying pan because it cooks the bottom really nicely. Now, while it's on, get a little, whatever you call that thing, and just check the bottom. Make sure it isn't going black. You can see, starting to cook. Whilst that's cooking on a medium heat, get your sauce and plop it in the middle. With the back of your spoon, spread it out and get everywhere. Some people like to leave the corners. Me, why not? You see it starting to bubble? Just give it a little tap down with the back of your spoon. Make sure you get right to the edge. Now on with the cheese. Get your cheddar straight over the top. That is perfect. Next off, get your mozzarella and just start laying it out. Now the mozzarella's on top, this would be the moment you add your toppings. Pepperoni, ham, pineapple, whatever you want. Roasted veg, doesn't really matter. Now, the temptation is to throw loads of cheese on this, but don't. Cheese is mostly made of milk, and when it melts, it goes really watery, and it goes bleh, all down the sides, and it makes it soggy. So, a little bit of cheese, a little bit of mozzarella, perfect. As you can see, the bottom is cooked nicely. And now, my little secret on how you cook the top. Chuck it in the grill. Right, you may be wondering, Simon, why you put it in the grill? The reason is I've got plastic handles on my pan. If I whopped it straight in the oven, they'd melt. So you can cook them in the oven, just make sure you've got metal handles. You want the temperature to be right up to the maximum. You want to cook this until it's cooked. Right, now that it's cooked perfectly, get it onto a nice serving tray. Right, it's time to cut this up. Some people have got fancy rollers or big knives. Me, being absolutely poor, scissors. See? Scissors works like a charm. Now it's time for the taste test. Bellissimo! Ciao bellas, ciao bellas. I'm so glad I put that apron on and I didn't get my clothes messy. Oh dear. This is the part that you get your parents to do. I'm gonna drag my wife and help me. Let's clear up. Thank you all so much for taking the time out to watch my video. If you like what you see and you want to see some more recipes made by me, like, comment, subscribe, click the bell notification somewhere and you can receive the latest videos on your phone. Bosh!